on the Friday edition. Mr. Relevant, Alex Strouf, Josh DiMaggio, Will Sommers with you from the Gerber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee as the Brewers fall 0-3 in the NLCS. One game from elimination as we head to a Game 4 tonight at Dodger Stadium. The Green Bay Packers are in first place in the NFC North at 3-1-1. They look to make it 4-1-1 in Arizona against the Cardinals this weekend. We will get to our NFL picks on a Friday, and we will wrap up the week ahead of likely the end of the NLCS and NFL Week 7. Good to be with you nonetheless after a Game 3 loss for the Brewers last night. Same story as Games 1 and 2. Can't really get hits, can't really get base runners, can't really score runs. Again, the story against Tyler Glasnow and company out there in Los Angeles as the Dodgers win their third in a row. It is now 0-3 for the Milwaukee Brewers as they try to fight off elimination and become only the second team ever in the MLB Championship Series to come back down 0-3. And that would require a win tonight at Dodger Stadium. It sounds like Jose Quintana will take the bump for the Brewers, probably after Aaron Ashby, though, just because that's what they do around here. I want to talk about that at some point because I'm a little puzzled, and you guys are, specifically Will, you're a smarter baseball guy than me, being the former college baseball athlete you are.
I've forgotten more about baseball than you know.
I don't know why you got offended that I'm going to Will with a baseball question.
Former college athlete, still current athlete.
That's such a bad joke. That was so bad.
It wasn't a joke.
He's smiling from ear to ear. He's so proud of that one. Still a current athlete. Okay, what do you do?
Everything.
Yeah, right.
Like I said last night on the stream, Swiss Army knife.
So the way you presented that is as if you don't understand why they're using openers. Like period.
No. I understand the opener part of it. I don't understand why we keep going to the same one who has not worked. Like, why not use a Jared Koenig, for example? Right? Like, that's more my question.
Pretty simply because they view his usage at other points in the game more valuable.
Okay, so, I mean, I can throw other names out there. Why not utilize a Chad? Well, I guess Chad Patrick they want him to eat more innings. Yeah. But why Ashby? That's ultimately the question I'm asking. Why not somebody else? If you want to go opener, why do we keep using Ashby? He's pitched in all 3 games.
You go Ashby because you believe in the matchups you have with the lineup you're expecting to get from the Dodgers.
Okay, follow-up question then. Why do you believe in Aaron Ashby?
That is a question that I don't know if the Brewers could answer.
It's also crazy, too, because you rarely run into this issue in the playoffs, but the Dodgers have seen Ashby enough where they're starting to get comfortable with this stuff. That's unheard of in the playoffs.
I think what it largely has to do is they trusted Ashby a lot through the season, and they're going back to the guys they think they can trust. And despite the previous 2 outings for him not going particularly how they would like, they look up and down their pitching staff and go, well, we could use this guy, but where does that put us? You're in a weird spot with using McGill again because Abner's been used so much that you're now having to weigh the differences. And Pat Murphy, Chris Hook, and front office get together and they say, well, this is probably the route we need to go here. If we are going to get, say 4 from Miz, then where do we go? Who can we rely on for more than 1 out, for more than 3 outs? Who are we going to also have reserved back as hey, we need to put out a fire. I need 1 singular out, or I need to get out of this jam. Like it's just I would bet with a fully rested bullpen, Ashby wouldn't have been the pick. I don't think they said, oh, hell yeah, we got him right where we want him.
Sure.
They looked at it as, this is probably our best chance to get through the first inning.
Okay, sure. That's fine. You know what? The pitching's not even...
I was going to say, we're wasting a lot of time on
I just haven't gotten a good explanation. That was probably the best explanation I've gotten on the Ashby thing. It bothered me. It doesn't bother me nearly as much.
No. I mean...
of the fact... The Brewers have 9 hits in 3 games. 9! They have 9 hits! You're not going to win games like that. It's unbelievably inferior. 9! That's so bad in 3 games in the NLCS. So bad. The Dodgers have 10 runs. The Brewers have 9 hits.
There wasn't solid contact made last night from 2 outs in the 2nd inning till the 6th inning. And it was a line out from Jackson Chourio and then a double from Caleb Durbin.
9.
No excuses, but Pat Murphy sort of kind of blamed the fact of the shadows.
Okay.
No excuses.
Does that mean we're in excuse territory?
I do kind of agree with him.
Shut up, Will.
There is some validity, but you figure you'd get lucky.
But the Dodgers had the same shadows.
Yeah, correct. That was about what I was.
Well,
by the way,
there was no run scored.
Hand
during
up,
that time,
hand
to
up.
be clear.
I lashed out. That's on me. Sorry, Will. You don't need to shut up. You can talk as much as you want.
Friday accountability. I love that.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, but I'm obviously incredibly frustrated, right? Like 9 hits in 3 games. 9. That's unbelievably bad. Now, spin zone, they've gone up 1 every game. 2, 3, 4. Only 2 hits in game 1. 3 hits in game.
Tonight we might get 5.
5 hits tonight.
Don't get me excited.
Dodgers had
now.
5 hits last night. They had 3 runs. Anything's possible. They could still come back. And if they force a game 5, maybe they'll get 6 hits. Game 6, 7 hits. Go to game 7, they get 8 hits.
The problem is that the amount of runs has not gone up.
No, it has been 1 every game. That
has remained stagnant.
3 runs, 9 hits in 3 games for the Milwaukee Brewers. That is so bleeping bad and incredibly frustrating. And I had a conversation earlier today with, let's just say, a boss in our company who was evaluating some of my work. And he said, man, you looked dead on that live stream you did last night. And I said, yeah, you're right. I felt dead. And he goes, well, I like people with passion. I like people that get angry. And I said, but hold on a minute. You don't understand. We're past that point. I feel like I'm watching a slow death.
Yes.
I know inevitably what's going to happen when I'm sitting in hospice. Death. So I've resorted to no more yelling. I have nothing to yell about.
Yelling.
I was yelling now because I hadn't done the hit math yet until just a moment ago. I knew it was bad. I didn't realize it was 9 hits bad. I thought we were at least in the double digits.
Here, you want to hear some fun stats? This comes from Kurt Hogg.
Can I just ask you a question? Are you using the word fun sarcastically?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
The 18 hits by the Brewers since Game 4 of the NLDS are the fewest over any 5-game stretch in franchise history.
One more time.
The 18 hits by the Brewers since Game 4 of the NLDS are the fewest over any 5-game stretch in franchise history. Another one from Kurt. Shout out to Kirk for having all these. The Brewers are the 6th team in MLB history to have 9 hits or fewer over any 3-game stretch within the same postseason, and only the 2nd team since 1971.
Okay, so let's just pause.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew it was bad. We've watched the games.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we've watched the games together.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully our last one tonight.
We'll get back to that in a moment. I didn't realize it was this bad. Like all-time bad. We were talking all-time bad.
You start seeing the. I mean, it's been 3 hits in each of the games.
Yeah, no, it's been 2, 3, 4. They had 4 last night. They had 3 in game 2, and
I missed that 4th hit yesterday. Yeah, it is not that you explained it exactly how I did this morning. It's worse in a way, but it's also not, because I'm just bleeding out.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel helpless? Like, yeah. We talk about it all the time as Wisconsin sports fans. We often experience heartbreak. We're lucky to have a lot of really good teams. I can't even speak today.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
so
having
upset.
a tough one.
There's a lot of really good teams that play in the state that we root for, right? Think about the Packers. Think about the Bucks. Think about the Brewers. At one point in time, think about Wisconsin football. Definitely not this year. Those are all prime examples, especially the last 15 years, of teams that have been in the conversation, but not have been at the beginning of the conversation, right? They did not win titles in the last 15 years. They've just been very close to winning or competing for titles the last 15 years. And often when those teams lose, it is not in this fashion. It is not in the you are getting completely outmatched, outworked fashion. It is typically in the, well, you came really damn close, but you had a few bad breaks or one really bad break. Think about 2014 NFC Championship game for the Green Bay Packers in Seattle. Think about Game 7 against the Dodgers in 2018. And obviously the list goes on and on. Think about the 2020 championship game for the Packers. Kevin King. 3 interceptions from Tom Brady. You can't score touchdowns on him. So you get really close, and you have all these examples. Last year against the Mets in the wild card, right? You have the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning, and then you lose. There's so many examples of you're there, and then you get heartbroken, and it's instant. It's the snap of a finger. You go from riding so high and thinking, oh, we're on to the next round, to, oh, my God, they lost. How did they lose? That's what we're used to in the state. I am not used to just a drawn-out, slow death of a season that was. And that's what we're experiencing here against the Dodgers. It's you aren't the better team. You look like you don't belong, and you just have to sit back and take it. The first 2 games at AmFam Field, their starting pitchers combined for 17 of the 18 innings pitched. In Game 3, you can't get hits, can't get on base. And then cherry on top, Jackson Chourio leaves the game. The one player I think you've had faith in all postseason to do something. Give me something. And then he leaves the game. So I guess this is better because it doesn't hurt as much. It still hurts, obviously, because we've had so much. I mean, 4 days ago, I was sitting here saying, I think this could be an incredible 7-game series. And here I am after 3 games thinking, it's probably over tonight. They might make it a gentleman's sweep. But this series ain't getting back to Milwaukee. I mean, you have to at some point believe what your eyes are showing you. I think after Game 1, we felt optimistic because when the Brewers finally got to the Dodgers bullpen, they made something happen. And the tying run was 90 feet away. And then Game 2, going into Game 2, you go, well, there's no way Yamamoto can do what Snell did. No, he's just going to do it better. He's going to go all 9. Can't do anything. 3 hits. And you're thinking, okay, maybe I have to start believing what my eyes are telling me. Their pitchers are that good. And Glasnow actually, he was fine. But he wasn't Yamamoto Snell great from the first 2 games. And then you get to the bullpen, and well, okay, now you can't do anything. 1 hit from the bullpen. So, all in all, I am a firm believer. At some point, you have to believe what your eyes are telling you. And what my eyes are telling me is the Dodgers are completely outmatching the Brewers. And I don't think that's changing anytime soon. I hope they prove me wrong. Maybe they are like the 04 Red Sox. Maybe they can rattle off 4 in a row. But from what I've seen through the first 3, no shot.
I don't know why you're playing that game. It's done. They're dead. Put a fork in them.
I think so, too.
The fat lady's sung.
No.
The fat lady sung.
She's starting to sing. Like
No.
she's on the stage.
She's inhaling.
She's ending the song.
From that phrase, what song do you picture the fat lady singing?
Opera.
Okay, I always felt Amazing Grace.
I always thought opera too.
Well, isn't Amazing Grace kind of opera?
No.
Can it be a kind of an operetta?
Nope.
Okay, got it.
Good try though.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that this is the same team that not only had the best record in baseball, but scored 9 runs in 2 innings in the first postseason game against the Cubs? The exact same team. Nothing's changed.
No,
same team.
Nope.
Same lineup. Nick
Nope.
Mears isn't on the playoff rush. That's the only change.
Yep, you got Tobias Myers now.
As far as I'm concerned, he didn't come anywhere near a bat.
Nope.
So, Will, I didn't tell you this before the show, but I was looking at the screen in front of you, which has some sound from like months ago. And there's actually one audio cut in particular I kind of forgot about. So this is from, I want to guess, April, maybe May. And I just want to listen to it to see if it sounds any different than we thought then. Because I think when we listened to it then, we were like, oh, Pat's calling out Antanasio. This is Pat Murphy when things weren't looking so hot at the beginning of the season, talking about the roster that Mark Antanasio and Matt Arnold had put together and why the Brewers weren't in first place in the NL Central. I just think it's going to be interesting to compare and contrast. Here we are in the NLCS. Go ahead, Pat.
To stay undaunted means the mental toughness to stay in the now. It's really, really hard. And it's hard when you care a lot. But caring a lot isn't enough. You got to care a lot and you got to do it. Be in the now. I trust the players. I like the players. I think they're good. Now, did we go spend a lot of money in the offseason, guys? Let's call a spade a spade. No, we didn't. Are we real deep in the position player business? No, we're not. But we have good ones.
You could have told me he said that yesterday, and I would have believed you.
Forgot about those comments.
He says mid-yawn.
Yeah.
You okay over
They've
there?
worn me out. I've taken everything I got.
Yeah.
I've left it all out in the field.
We all have. We all have. And I don't think any of us are feeling very optimistic or undaunted heading into Game 4 tonight.
Those comments will continue to resurface, especially as seems like the Dodgers probably waltz to another World Series. The Brewers look so completely overmatched. There's going to be a lockout in 2027 where I just don't think it really matters to spend much time on that. We know the realities. We know that I've seen it go around a lot, the percentage of revenue spent on player salaries. And the interesting thing about it is everyone, regardless of how much money they're making or spending, they are bringing home about $200 million in profit year over year, every single year. So it is what it is. It's clearly how the MLB owners want things to be, and we don't have much say in that. I don't want to say we underestimated the Dodgers, but we might have overestimated the Brewers. We might have turned a blind eye to some signs of things that could have reared their ugly. Like, no one can predict historically bad offensively. You know how bad Brewers teams used to be back in the day?
Oh, yeah. Bad.
Like, horrific.
Kyle Wallace referenced it last night, and I thought it was interesting on our watch-along. He goes, the Brewers were so bad in the mid-2000s that Bill Schroeder would show you pitches on the baseball in the middle of games.
Oh, yeah.
For the last decade, I mean, they've been competitive.
Yeah.
And they've been in the mix.
My famous knuckle curve that I showed Will my grip on yesterday on the stream.
Your famous knuckle curve.
Learned that struck out 13 in a row with that singular pitch.
I could tell by the way he was holding it.
I actually have to give Josh
nasty.
credit. He talks about how he played baseball growing up. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You've kept that one to yourself.
Yeah.
Struck out 13 in a row? You were good.
They're like Blake Snell.
I had good location and good movement, and a lot of kids didn't really know what to do with that.
How old were you?
Like 15.
Okay.
15, 16.
High school-ish?
Yeah. I think it was the spring leading up to freshman year.
Got it.
Yeah.
Still sick, though.
Yes. And
DiMaggio.
but that's literally how I learned it, because I remember significantly it was Ben Hendrickson, who was supposed to be like a young, bright prospect for the Brewers, who ended up pitching like in the middle of the season because of injuries and got called up. And they showed it because his first game was like incredible with the Brewers. And he was throwing this knuckle curve that nobody could get. So they did a whole thing. They showed the grip and everything. And yeah, there was a lot of time filling, and that's gone away. I think those days are probably far away still. The Brewers are going to continue to be competitive. They clearly have a good process with their pitching lab, the way they're able to reinvent some hitters. But you ran into the Avengers, and you played about as poorly as humanly possible. I thought it was going to be a grind to try and win it out. And to be quite frank, I thought it was unlikely the Brewers were going to win this series. But I thought they'd get up and they'd steal a game or two, or they'd look good in a game or two, and they just simply haven't.
Pat Murphy referenced it last night that the Brewers just didn't get the clutch hit. And I completely disagree with that, because in order to get a clutch hit, you need somebody in scoring position.
Yeah.
And if what he means by that is they didn't get the clutch home run, this team was not built to be home run hitters.
It's not a home run hitting team.
If we're relying on home runs to carry us to victory like we did in Game 5, we're in trouble. I mean, we already are in trouble, but we might be in more trouble than we ever thought.
We might be in trouble.
4.
No, we're just in trouble. Simple as that.
We're in deep bleep.
Indeed. Indeed. Dr. Denver Dan chimes in. This is 07 World Series bad between the Red Sox and the Rockies, where the Red Sox swept the Rockies. I just want to point out, though, in Game 3, the Rockies had 11 hits. Through 3 games, the Brewers have 9. They had more hits in Game 3 than the Brewers have in 3 games combined, despite getting dominated in that series. That's that. So, ugh. Where did the Brewers rank this year in home runs? I'm trying to pull that up quick. In terms of teams,
I would guess in the 20s.
They were 22nd in the regular season.
Pat on the back to me.
Good guess. One more than the White Sox, one less than the Reds. Yikes. So, to your point on Pat Murphy's clutch hit remark, he meant clutch home run, which they got from Jackson Chourio, and they've gotten in the past. Obviously, Bryce Terang had the insurance one in Game 5.
I mean, ever since last Wednesday, what is it? Have they showed any offensive life?
Just to remind me. Last Wednesday was Game 4 or Game 3?
Game 3 against the Cubs.
Okay.
Since Game 2 on Monday, have they showed any life on offense? I would argue in Game 5 they didn't have any life. They just hit 3 solo home runs.
Yeah.
Those 3 hits. They had more than that, but it took 3 hits to win the game.
What a good time that was.
Yeah, sure does. Dr. Denver Dan then follows up. Ouch, stats hurt. Yeah, they do. If what you're witnessing on your television doesn't hurt already, I got a stat to make it hurt even more.
I do have a positive stat.
How?
Is there time for this?
Should I not do the positive
No,
stat?
go ahead.
Let me hear it.
Jacob Mrozowski's 9 strikeouts in the playoff, the most by a rookie coming out of the bullpen in MLB history.
Wow. I mean, yeah, he's been awesome.
He's been the lone bright spot.
Chad Patrick.
Yeah, but in terms of stakes and when they're used, and
Miz, yeah.
it was last series that Chad Patrick was gigantic.
They haven't used him yet.
Yeah. And then the Miz has just been...
I would imagine they may go to him tonight.
Who cares?
They might throw Josh's
Are
knuckle.
you rooting for a loss?
Yeah, finish me. Put me out of my misery.
They might bring Josh in and have him show off his knuckle curve.
Uh-huh.
Why not?
Never
Josh,
seen before.
Josh, are you going to wear Dodgers gear tonight?
No.
What if I provide you a Dodgers hat?
No, I still can't do that.
Okay. You just said you're rooting for him, so.
Yeah. I'm rooting for this just to be over with. We all see the writing on the wall. Say the Brewers win tonight, 5-2. Do you feel better? Is there a case for, hey, we showed up? We're all just going to go, well, they're just going to end it tomorrow.
Yeah, guess who's pitching on Saturday?
The Demon?
Yep.
I'm still not saying his name.
I'm not going to yet.
Shout out Rocky Joshua.
Does Brandon Woodruff change the series at all?
I don't think so, no.
I don't either.
Unless he could hit a home run like he did in the NLCS against the Dodgers in 2018.
Liam chimes in. I've seen enough. Bring back Nestor Cortez.
He actually had surgery today. I was thinking about him.
Huh?
Nestor had surgery on his arm today.
And you were thinking about him?
I saw it on Twitter. And
Sending
I was like,
good vibes?
well, I saw that and I was thinking, like, would this series be any different with Nestor? And then I thought back to his game against the Yankees. He pitched, and I was like, nah.
I've had a lot of Josh's right. The Nestor Cortez thing this year.
What'd you do?
I mean, when they traded for him, I said, oh, God, no. This
I
guy
do remember
stinks.
that. Yeah, I do remember
I've been anti-Nestor Cortez for like 4 years.
And then he was a Brewer for a very short period.
Very short time.
Didn't do a whole lot.
And
for him.
he also set records for how bad he was.
Chef Ed, we only lost 4 games in a row once this season, the first 4 game. Let's go out with a little bit of dignity and win one. You're cooking with Chef Ed? No, what if they just kind of do what the Packers did last year, bookend their seasons?
Yeah.
We are undefeated in elimination games this year.
For now.
Food for thought.
They're not the 04 Red Sox, Will. I hate to break it to you.
No.
Just saying, 1-0.
Here's the thing, though. We know this is too easy. They're not losing tonight.
Yeah, I know. They're going to make our happy asses.
It sucks.
I'm gonna have to do a victory post game, 20 minutes tonight, and then we're gonna do it again tomorrow. They're gonna win tomorrow. They're gonna bring it back to Milwaukee. We're gonna have a day off on Sunday for us all to go. Well, maybe
I'm not falling for it. I'm going to put my stamp on this.
I don't believe you.
If they take it to Game 7, I'm still not falling for it.
I'm going to get excited if they win.
Oh, I'm gonna fall for it right away. If they win tonight, I'm gonna fall
I
for it.
might be back.
They might be the 04 Red Sox. Will be my line tonight. They just might be.
A first inning home run, and you'll be so back in.
Well, hold on. Let me slow down. I think the series is over. Okay, let's make it very clear. That doesn't mean I'm not still rooting for my team. I'm still rooting for the Brewers to win 4 in a row, though I don't have any shred of imagination saying, oh, yeah, that could happen. They're not going to win 4 in a row.
The Brewers winning 4 in a row this season would be the ultimate payoff. It would be
if they get to the World Series?
Yeah, it'd be the most amazing thing ever. It would be talked about for decades. It would be probably the defining moment of all of our sports fandom.
Yeah.
Instead, I think we're going to get a 2-run output. They're going to lose. Shohei Ohtani is going to
go 9. No, he's going to go 19 innings.
and then we're
going to pitch for both teams.
And then we're going to look sad on the stream, and then somebody's going to comment and put a tag to the exact moment where we lose and look defeated.
I saw that one from yesterday.
Somebody's done it like all
and
three
it gets
of
like
losses.
50 likes.
They like it too much. Sickos and perverts.
I granted, I haven't gone back and looked at the comments until today.
Not nice.
No. But I saw that one with the timestamp. So you know me, I'm a sucker.
Clicked it.
And the very first word out of my mouth is irritating. I just go, I sink into my chair and I just go, that's so irritating.
I think I said, well, boys, we're effed.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been a fun couple of days on the diamond, huh? This sucks. It sucks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This sucks. We had, rightfully so, really high expectations for this baseball team. And look, they're one of the 4 teams remaining. So that's at least some sort of payoff. But the expectation, given what the regular season was to get to a World Series. And it's pretty clear that's not going to be the case this year for the Milwaukee Brewers. It's okay. It was a really fun summer.
I think Hunter might have been right.
Can you be right for having to take I had first?
Well, okay. We're not doing that. But second off, is Hunter right? No. Hunter said something about Game 4 of a different series that they won. Now, he kept saying, I see red flags. Which that term got on my nerves so fast on Wednesday. I yelled at Hunter. I don't usually yell at somebody. Although I've had a history of doing that on Wednesday episodes recently. I yelled at you last week.
Uh-huh.
I yelled at Hunter this week. Josh, you might get the wrath on Wednesday.
I ain't worried.
But I just don't get the short-sightedness takes in baseball playoffs. These are series. This is not the NFL. This is not the college football playoffs. One bad game does not equal bad team.
I disagree that he said that they weren't a World Series team, but the way that they were playing, they're not playing good enough to make a World Series or be a World Series team. That part I do agree with him, but
yeah.
I think we all could have said that.
The thing I don't understand is, like, we're here. What can we do about it?
Yep.
That's why I was mad at the trade deadline, because that was when you do stuff about it.
Hmm?
So now I just
God forbid they acquired a bat at the deadline.
Wouldn't that have been just the
They did.
worst?
Well, I was going to say they kind of did.
Lockridge?
They acquired legs.
Well, I guess Vaughn was a little bit earlier.
Yeah. And that was a stroke of luck.
That might be underselling it, frankly.
Yeah.
That might be underselling it.
Vaughn's been great, clearly turned over a new leaf. But without that, Aaron Savali saying, I want to be a starter, it doesn't matter. For him then to get DFA'd and end up on the club's playoff.
Look, I didn't mean to get greedy when I asked for a Vaughn off Savale home run in the NLDS. But honestly, since I've said that, things have gone downhill fast. I'm not blaming myself. Hey, I'm going to get greedy here. I want them to win 4 games in a row. Let me actually take that back. I want them to win 8 games in a row. Not going to happen. So we'll see what happens tonight between the Dodgers and the Brewers. The three of us, Gabe Knights, will be with you for another edition of our watch party beginning at about 7:30 tonight as the Brewers and the Dodgers go toe-to-toe once more. No official announced starter/opener, at least yet, for the Brewers. Shohei Ohtani will go for the Dodgers.
I'm hearing it's Aaron Ashby.
I know you're joking,
I'm
but
joking.
you actually might not be.
Yeah.
He only pitched, what, an out yesterday?
Third of an inning.
I think they learned their lesson. If
We said that yesterday.
I could make a case for that not being a fair statement. If they could throw Ashby, they've said uncle. They said, please make
Ashby threw 16 pitches yesterday.
Yeah.
He's definitely available.
He's right.
Totally available.
It felt like he threw 50.
I've got an idea. Hear me out.
Oh, boy.
What if they just use a starter and let him pitch?
Interesting concept, Joshy. Interesting concept.
I'm not.
If only.
I'm not going to be 20/20 hindsight on the previous. It's the Dodgers. I understand stakes are raised. You want favorable matchups. Blah 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 blah. But we've tried it. It hasn't worked.
If only they were playing a team who's been using their starters in starting spots successfully. Maybe they'd learn their lesson. Food for thought, to steal a term from Will earlier. All right. So Game 4 will be tonight. Game 5 will be tomorrow. Game 6, in theory, would be Monday at AmFam Field. When we recongregate on the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Studios on Monday.
That was tough for you to get out of your mouth.
Recongregate?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
And then following up with Gruber right after
a couple GR words.
Too many.
Recongregate on the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Studios on Monday.
Stuck in your jowls.
Will we be previewing a Game 6 or recapping a series loss?
We'll be recapping.
We'll be talking about the Packers playing the Steelers on Sunday Night Football.
I can't wait for Joshy's Aaron Rodgers takes next week.
Oh.
In fact, I want to give you 40 seconds right now.
I'm going to start off with a positive. That Hail Mary, old guy, nearly 70 yards, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Give him that. Everything else about his game, woofty.
How about the offensive lineman tackling him in celebration and getting very angry?
Now, let me defend him again. He's a little old to be thrown around like that.
He's broken his collarbone a few times.
Yeah. I understand. Maybe would I have acted less outwardly, but hey, that's Aaron. We know who he is by now. But I think they're going to get his all. Now we're talking 2 weeks ahead. But that team can't stop anyone, and their strength of schedule is horrific. Look at the QBs and the offensive they've played, and they're like bottom half of the league in yards given up. And he can't move, period, end of sentence.
Period.
It looks bad.
Yeah, he's an old fella. But to your point on the Hail Mary,
Yeah.
pretty cool to see you can still do that.
Yes.
All things considered, and I know
it's the second longest throw, I think, like since they've been tracking.
they didn't start tracking it until 2017.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, his Lions Hail Mary doesn't qualify for that. But to see 10 years later,
I mean,
he can still do stuff like that is insane.
Just use your mind and your memory. How many times have you seen a ball travel 70 yards through the air?
Not very many.
Yeah.
And when it has,
there's a few throws that I can remember of. I think might have been like Cam Newton, and Josh Allen certainly has the ability to do it, where they absolutely uncork one and you go, "Holy cats!" But it's like usually like an overthrow.
Joe Milton.
Joe Milton can chuck the pigskin. Where is he these days? Dallas?
He's in Dallas. He came out for the coin toss in overtime against the Packers.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. It was McManus versus Joe Milton.
McManus and Joe Milton doing the overtime coin toss.
You know we're in desperation mode when Joe Milton's getting name checked by someone not named Hunter.
Just one of those days. He can fling the pigskin a little bit though.
Sure can.
Yeah. So Jackson Chourio left yesterday's game with what looked like a retweak of the hamstring. Don't. I might have thought he rolled his ankle.
And then victory laughed in our face when somebody far away in a press box also made the same mistake.
In my defense. In my defense. Todd Rosiak is like the best of the best when it comes to Brewers reporters. So I thought he was right because I thought that made me right. And then he backtracked, and I actually don't think I ever did. I think I just said, oh, I know.
When was the last time because you use this phrase a lot.
Yeah.
In my defense. When was the last time you think one of these changed our opinion?
Time out. I don't know if anybody's ever pointed that out to me. Well, people accuse me of being defensive, okay? This is something that's happened recently. People have been saying, Strouf, you're very defensive when you don't need to be. And you know why that is. You. Anything I say on this show gets questioned. So that has made me naturally defensive outside of the walls of the show. The 3 hours or so a week we spend together on this very program has made me an incredibly defensive human being. And you've changed me.
I wish I had something good to offer you here.
So what was your question about in my defense?
How often does that statement ever bail you out from the mistake you made? Because
well, you could ask anybody that question. I would imagine the answer is relatively low.
Yeah, maybe it's just me conflating how much you say it with how much you are like just in the wrong, but trying to eke out a sliver.
Well, okay. So the name of the show is Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strouf, right? That's the name of the show because I'm constantly my opinions are either thrown in the garbage or disregarded or questioned. It's why you fit the show very well. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, to answer your question,
in your defense,
I don't remember what I was saying.
The Jackson ankle tweak when he was on close up grabbing his high ham.
Yes, but it did look to me like he rolled his ankle as well.
I'm sure he did, based on like his.
So I wondered if it was just a full blown leg injury. But
he was doing the universal hamstring.
He has called that a cramp, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with what we've seen with him in the hamstring thing, there's clearly something going on that has him less than 100%, but it is not keeping him from, frankly, playing quite well.
Gumby chimes in. In fairness to Strouf, I thought it was his elbow that was hurt. Good one, Gumby. Yeah. So we'll see. Jackson Chourio, I'd imagine he goes tonight then if it's just a cramp, but not great. Not great. Brewers Dodgers 7:38 first pitch tonight. We're with you on the watch party, right around 7:30 tonight. That will be my final comment on Game 4. I'm stressed out.
I don't even feel stressed.
Stress probably actually isn't bad. I'm just sad.
Yeah. I feel defeated and beaten up. I wake up in the morning like I got slugged in the gut 6 times. It sucks.
It sucks.
Every time we end one of these watch-alongs, I feel like I just went 6 rounds with Tyson.
Yeah. Not Ali or Frazier.
No,
I'm staying away from that analogy.
Well, you went boxing, I figured.
I do feel like Goliath beat my ass, though.
Yeah, I do feel like David.
I'll just say, I might have been wrong on that.
In my defense.
In your defense.
In my defense, the Brewers have not lived up to expectations. So I might have been wrong on that. Well, it happens. I thought it was a good take, though.
I liked it.
Not living up to be one.
You went outside the box. You get points for that.
Do I? I don't think that's how that works.
The nicest thing I can say is one of the more dismissive things you can say to anybody is, you tried.
So coming up Sunday is Packers Cardinals down at what is the name of that stadium these days? State Farm Stadium?
The most remarkable thing I can tell you about it is that their field slides in and out.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Speaking of fields and in Texas, did you watch the documentary on the Astros where when they made that old dome and they left like the windows open, like they had glass
Where
in
is
the
this?
ceiling. The original in the 70s, the Astros, when they built
The
their
Astrodome.
Astrodome. Yeah.
Yes. There was glass, like they wanted to put glass all around because, hey, we've got a lot going on here. Well, they didn't think about the fact that if you do that, the sun is going to beat on your grass and turn it into basically a desert. So they had to change that. Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Before we move on.
Yep.
I usually I'm good at ignoring comments like this.
Uh-oh, who's got you?
I'm just going to read it because what kind of question is this? EB says, I must ask if you Brewers fans agree with that Karen Brewers fan who got banned for her racist comment on that Dodgers fan. Do I agree with Karen?
No.
What are we doing here?
That's insane.
Of course not. Why do you have to ask? You have to ask, hey, are you a decent human being, Will Sommers? Josh DiMaggio, you got any shredded decency inside that ticker of yours?
I would like to think so. I think everybody's reaction to that would tell you. I've seen more Brewers fans post, we don't claim this person and this is unacceptable. But hey, I guess we're in a time now where that needs to be clarified for some people. None of them are in this room.
That's correct.
Nor do I think any of them work at this radio station.
Yes. Matthew chimes in. Yes, of course we agree with her being banned. What kind of question is that?
So it's called State Farm Stadium in Arizona.
I was right about that, yes.
Shout out State Farm.
So it sounds like Jacoby Brissett will go for the Cardinals.
Are we sure?
It's sounding that way, yes.
Okay. I've just seen a lot of talk about Kyler.
Kyler was throwing with the practice squad yesterday,
Okay.
which is typically not a good sign.
He hurt himself because he wasn't ready for a snap. It bounced off his face mask, and then he hurt his ankle.
Yeah, it's quite, just like,
Might be the most Kyler play of all time.
yeah. I can finally say I'm going to stop believing in him.
Oh, okay.
I am probably the last person off that
Hot take.
train. No, but Will, you weren't here yet last year when we did like our preseason NFL predictions. I really thought the Cardinals were going to shock people last year. I was all in on the Cardinals. And they were horrible, obviously. Yeah. So here we are. Look, so we've kind of said it all week. I don't know whether you've listened to Weekly Wildy in the Irrelevant feed or watched it on YouTube. If you've listened to KBN at all, we haven't done a ton of Packers talk on Irrelevant this week, but it's very clear to me, at least through 6 weeks of the NFL season, that there's clearly not a number one dog. Like every team has their shortcomings through 6 weeks of the NFL season. Every team has a bad mark or loss. And you know, at this point, you feel fine about where the Packers are at, 3-1-1. It was a bad loss in Cleveland. You shouldn't have tied that game in Dallas. But all in all, 3-1-1 isn't bad. You're in first place of the NFC North. You're the number 2 seed in the NFC as of right now. You feel fine about this team. The things you don't feel great about it feels like a few of these games, they should have won by 4 touchdowns. And I would include the Cleveland game in that. I would include the Dallas game in that. And obviously Cincinnati last week. Those feel like games it should have been all Packers. And it just hasn't been that. Defensively, you can't really close out games the way you'd think they'd be able to with a defense like this. So this is another opportunity for me to see if the Packers are who we think they are, or if they can be who we think they can be. Can they go to Arizona and beat up on a meh team? The Cardinals aren't dog bleep, but they're not a playoff team. So go in there, take care of business, and dominate end to end. Defensively, shut that offense down all day long. You're supposed to have this unbelievable offense or defense. Prove it. That's what I want to see. 0 fumbles forced through 5 games. Only 2 interceptions. In terms of turnovers forced, the Packers rank 31st in the National Football League, ahead of only the Jets. That's not good enough. So we'll see. Jordan Love, I think he's been really good outside of the few crucial mistakes. Had another one last week in the first drive. But all in all, I think all things considered through 5 games, he's been good. In fact, I'd maybe even argue really good. But there have been some dumb mistakes made by Jordan Love where you go, what are you thinking there? What are you doing there? So if he can clean those up, I think he can get back to, oh, yeah, maybe he is in that top 10 conversation, top 7 conversation. So this just seems to me, for the Packers, a week where they can go to Arizona, take care of business, and prove, okay, maybe they are who we think they are. Simple as that. That's the order of operations on Sunday.
I fear the victory's not going to be impressive enough. It's not going to leave a quite great taste in our mouth. We're going to say a win's a win. You can't be mad about wins. It's hard to win in the NFL, but we didn't put our best foot forward. And I think that's going to be the case until we see some like real material change. The Packers under Matt LaFleur consistently play down to their competition. They seem to have weird lapses late in games. They don't have a really put them away instinct as a team yet. And if it happens on Sunday against the Cardinals, I would love it. But I'm still waiting to see better signs of that. And hopefully the offensive line continues to get healthier, and that is a catalyst for things moving in the right direction.
Yeah. Simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
Will, any external thoughts as the Bears fan on the panel?
I just think sometimes, especially the last game in the red zone, I kind of made the analogy that they look like they're riding a bike without a chain on sometimes. Where, you know what I'm saying, though? They get inside the 30 or the 40, and they look great up until that point. You know, they're running, like, Josh Jacobs is running wild. Jordan Love's finding Romeo Doubs and Matthew Golden on these deep plays. And then you get inside the 30, 40-yard line, and you just forget what to do. And you're pedaling, you're running all these weird misdirection plays, but you're just not going anywhere. And I think that's why, what was it at halftime, 10-0, 7-0, or 6-0, something like that? It just is taking them too long to score touchdowns at times. And weirdly enough, I don't know if you guys have felt this, but the defense in the second half has been a completely different defense from the first half in the past two games.
Definitely.
Like in the first half, I've noticed it's so much more gang tackling, like a lot of yellow hats all over the ball carrier. And then in the second half, they just ease up a little bit. Seems like.
The Packers got it scored in the second half against Cincinnati.
And that's like
by a point, but they got it scored.
Yeah, that's the things that concern me because, like Josh said, it feels like after the loss to the Browns, the 2 games after that have been true get-right games where you have those convincing victories like you did in the first 2 weeks, and it just doesn't feel like they've accomplished that.
Hasn't happened. They're 1-0-1 since that Browns game, but they haven't gotten the get-right game in terms of pure domination that maybe you would have liked to see or had expected. And maybe, again, I think this week is another good opportunity for that. I have no idea what to expect in Pittsburgh against Aaron Rodgers next Sunday night. The week after that, though, is Carolina, who, again, they're kind of an interesting team. Look, on the same side of the coin of, I don't know if there's really a top dog, there's not a ton of, like, really bad teams established yet in the NFL. You know, we had our ass rankings earlier in the year, which I think we should revisit at some point. The Jets are really the only team, and maybe the Dolphins. Yeah,
the Panthers
Jets
are
and Dolphins.
3-3.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're a playoff team, though.
No, I don't either. But for a team that's considered to be a bottom tier, to still be 500.
But I think there's really only 2 teams where you look at them and you go, "Whoa, they're stinky. They're stinky ass." What turbo ass? What is our top level of ass?
Turbo.
So that's Jets Dolphins. But everybody else, the Browns aren't very good.
I think we're trying to reinvent something that's the answer's a little more simple. There's no truly elite teams, and what that means is anybody can lose to anybody, and there is not a team that you would say like, oh, they might not lose the rest of the year.
Right. The Chiefs.
Yeah. Which they stacked 3 losses before they did it, but yeah. That seems to be the team that's going to coast, and everyone's going to be like, oh, boy.
Here we go again.
Yeah. They're back. Rushy Rice returns, just so you know.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Chargers are a good example of that. Everyone was very high on them, and then they lose 2 straight to the Giants and the Commanders and then play the Dolphins close.
I mean, they lost 2 all-pro level tackles, and then they lost a replacement of those tackles, and then they lost their starting guard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I still think they're probably a good team. Oh, also, they lost both Najee Harris and Marion Hampton as well. So they've got, it's just, some teams are in a bad luck streak. But would it shock you if, oh boy, George Kittle comes back and the Niners look unstoppable? Well, Fred Warner being out for the rest of the season and probably into next season it is a factor there. But I do think there are probably some teams like, if the Ravens win 8-9 in a row? Everyone buried them, and who's going to run away with it in the AFC North? No one.
Mm-hmm.
Brett says we forgot one. He said, have you guys watched the Titans?
Oh, yeah, true. They did fire their head coach.
Yeah, that's true.
They're actually just so irrelevant, I forgot about
Yeah.
them.
They're turbo ass. They belong in
They're
turbo.
mega turbo.
They're the third team. All AFC teams. Dolphins, Jets, Titans in the mega ass category. Turbo ass. Mega turbo ass. Titans, Patriots this weekend might get ugly. Drake May continues the MVP candidate conversation by beating up on Tennessee. There you go. All right, let's get to our week. What week is it? 7 NFL picks. Will, I'll give you a second to pull up our records as we enter week 7, where everybody stands.
Got him up.
All right, go for it.
Me and Hunter tied in last place at 5-6-1. Strouf in first place at 7-4-1, and Josh is sitting in second at 6-5-1.
You really did that in a confusing way.
I just went in the order that the graphic is.
Got it.
You want me to redo it? Me and Hunter are in last place at 5-6-1. Josh in second place at 6-5-1, and Strouf is in first place at 7-4-1.
If you haven't seen us do this before, each and every week we do not pick against the spread. We pick the Packers game, who's going to win that outright, and then we pick an underdog, a team that is not favored in Vegas to win, to upset their opponent. Can come from any game in the NFL this week, outside of obviously Thursday Night Football. We will start with Hunter if you have his picks.
Yeah. Also, we were very hot last week on the underdogs, 0-4, I believe.
I think that's the first time we've done that this year. Though.
Yes. And speaking of last week, Hunter's going to run back the same exact picks. He's got the Packers and the Jaguars in the 8:30 a.m. London game against the Rams. They are currently 3-point underdogs. He takes the Jaguars, who have been pretty hot recently.
I don't know if you picked up on that, Joshy. You said that team name 2 different ways.
Jaguars and Jaguars.
Yeah, you said it different.
Jaguars.
Not wires.
Jaguars.
No, not that.
Jaguars.
Wars.
Wires.
Wars. Yes, wars. All right, so Jags and Packers for Hunter. Will, what do you got?
I'm going to take the Colts. I mentioned it earlier, and Josh helped my thesis a little more by talking about the Chargers' injuries. So I'm going to take the Colts on the road in LA. They're 1.5 underdogs right now. I think the Colts, the only game they've lost is the game that they beat themselves against the Rams. I really like them, and I think the Chargers, with all those injuries and just playing poorly against not great teams, I feel good about the Colts.
So you are in on the Danny Dimes revival tour.
How can you not be at this point?
6-1 they would go to if they win on Sunday against the Chargers.
I think Danny Dimes has been good and probably in aggregate will be good all year. The Danny Dimes game's coming, though. That's why he's on the Indianapolis Colts for basically no money game.
I think he had like a couple interceptions against the Rams in that one game, so you could argue it was that game, but they still should have won.
Danny Dimes does special blow up. He's
So hold on.
Danny-
This is a concept I've been fascinated with, and Josh, you've worked with me long enough to know I probably bring this up too much. But I am fascinated by every year it seems like there's a formerly high drafted quarterback that has a revival tour of sorts. It was Geno Smith 4 years ago, Baker 3 years ago, Darnold last year, or 2 years ago, I should say. So Geno 3 years ago, Baker 2 years ago, Darnold last year, Danny Dimes this year, it seems. I'm just fascinated by that.
I think there's two pretty easy explanations. One, the institutional differences between teams who know what they're doing and don't make all the difference in the world, and probably have affected more athletes we deemed as busts than we're willing to recognize.
Sure.
We like to place it at the feet of the athlete more than, oh God, they went into a non-win situation from the start.
But there's another case to make of, okay, there's plenty of blame to go around, right? It goes both ways.
Right, of course. And then the second part, which I think covers this, is I think there's a natural maturation of a lot of, especially quarterbacks. You learn how to do it the right way. You learn from somebody who's doing it the right way. And then you simply grow up and get better at your craft. Because a lot of these guys that we're making judgments on, if they're good or not, a lot of times happen in the first 2 years of their career. And many of the times they're like 21 years old.
Yeah. Sure.
22, 23. Yeah. And it's like, is it entirely shocking that Johnny Manziel, who never showed an iota of maturity, came in and was extremely immature for a franchise that hasn't been able to figure it out for 30 years? Like, of course.
Will, assume you were taking the Packers as well.
Yep, All in on the Packers.
Josh, you're taking the Packers and who?
Yes, I've been. So we've got 2 mega ass bowls this weekend.
Oh, we love the Mega Ass Bowl. Yes, Titans. No, not Titans.
No,
it's
Dolphins, Browns.
Browns. That's what it is. Yes.
And the Service Academy honorary NFL game of the year, the Panthers versus the Jets, where they might rush the ball like 75 times between the two teams. Part of me wants to go, hey, maybe the Dolphins win just because they have some explosive athletes, but that's going to be a slop fest. Apparently going to be bad weather, so I'm a little scared off of that one. And I'm going to go back to what's treated me well this year. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, that had nothing to do with the Mega Ass games. I thought you were going to take the Jets.
No, I wanted to take.
Picking against the Eagles is what you're referring to as treating you well.
Yes.
Eagles only 2.5-point favorites. That game is at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. You got the Vikings over the Eagles would make both teams. No, just kidding. Vikings had their bye.
There's a little piece of me that was thinking, what about the Saints over the Bears?
There was a little piece of me thinking about that one too. Yeah, I'm not going to go that direction though.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I am going to go to AT&T Stadium, where the Dallas Cowboys host the rival Washington Commanders. Nobody underplays in a big game that could determine who's in second place in the NFC East, quite like the Dallas Cowboys, who are 1.5-point favorites. Give me the Packers to beat the Cardinals. Give me the Commanders to beat the Cowboys. Those are our Week 7 NFL picks. And a reminder, the loser of this has to spend Wild Card Weekend at Will's apartment.
That game, I like the Cowboys in a lot.
Okay, I didn't ask for your opinion.
I think the Commanders' defense is very bad.
Okay, once again, I didn't ask for your opinion.
CeeDee Lamb's coming back.
Sure, didn't ask for your opinion.
Just trying to.
So is Terry McLaurin.
No, he's not.
He's out.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought he practiced
You
today.
absolute
He's out.
idiot.
Yeah, he practiced today.
I saw a report that he was out.
And Devo Samuel is also not healthy.
Jaden Daniels show.
Who's also been battling injuries since he saw the Packers.
Do I bring up Austin Eckler to continue the bid or no?
They had 3 turnovers against the Bears.
Did Eckler retire or no?
Not yet.
Yeah. Didn't he have like Achilles or something?
It was an Achilles, yeah. Suffered at Lambeau, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so if he didn't retire, the league might be retiring him.
Well, that's my guess. I just assumed he'd go out on his own, but maybe he'll wait till after the season. Okay.
No, you collect your checks. You get your health care taken care of.
Sure.
That's
all right. Time now for What We Missed, What We Learned. It is presented by Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County, up there just north of Green Bay, and Door County Distillery located just north of Sturgeon Bay in Carlsville.
This from Adam McKelvey?
No, go ahead.
This is. I guess I could let you finish this, and we could put this under what we missed. Jose Quintana starting Game 4.
Wow.
It's not Aaron Ashby, Will.
Will we see Aaron Ashby?
Well, I'll just tell you this. If the Brewers win or lose tonight, I think I'm dipping into the Door County Distillery no matter what. As I mentioned, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. If you're heading to Door County anytime soon, stop in at Carlsville. They've got a bunch of exclusive product. Otherwise, bourbons, gins, vodkas, whiskeys, brandies, and more. They are the best. I love their bourbon. It's bourbon season. It's always bourbon season. Who are we kidding? It's bourbon season all year. But for me, it's really in the fall and the winter and the spring, sometimes in the summer. Bourbon season. I love their bourbon. It's available statewide. You can find it wherever you get great liquor. You can also check out their website, doorcountydistillery.com. And find the retailer closest to you. It's affordable, it's award-winning, it's delicious. And don't forget, it's a local company. It's a Wisconsin company, so make sure you support local and drink great bourbon. Tough ask for you, I know. DoorCountyDistillery.com. All right, so Quintana officially will start tonight for the Brewers, which, great. I don't know that changes anything about how we feel about this game. Right, yeah, kind of feel the same exact way I did 10 minutes ago before I knew that information officially. We were expecting to see him in some capacity. It was just whether or not it would be starting or after an out, like it was yesterday for Jacob Mizorowski.
An out and a run.
Yeah, an out
and
and
a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, not trying to pile on. But.
No, I mean, the game's over. You're fine. Do the Brewers win tonight?
No.
You think it's a clean sweep? Will?
I hope they do. I don't think they will. I want an ounce of belief. I just want to believe a little bit. I haven't gotten to believe once.
I don't even want to believe.
No, you get to believe at the end of game one.
No.
You got to hope at the end of game
I
one.
got hope.
Oh, not belief.
I was on the edge of my seat.
I think they win tonight and lose tomorrow. I think it's a gentleman's.
They're going to quit.
That was a long pause.
I just didn't want to say it, but they're showing signs of quitting.
White flag calling uncle.
Yeah.
What do you call the past couple of days if they haven't quit already?
Yeah, it's just...
No, they were trying.
The end of that game went pretty quick.
I'll just say this. At least they won 100 games. And a playoff series.
Will this be the most forgotten best season in franchise history?
I think the answer is both yes and no because it has to be.
It's the only.
Best season in history.
Yeah. So it's both. It's also the most mid.
I'm just thinking of throughout their history when they had set these previous marks, it left like indelible marks on the consciousness of Brewers fans.
Here's why I say no. I don't think it'll be forgotten. Is because there's so many good stories, right? Like the Andrew Vaughns of the world, the 14 games straight, which is a franchise record, the 97 wins, which is a franchise record. There was so many memorable things about Jacob Mizorowski's rookie year, becoming an all-star. There's so many memorable parts of the season that I think we'll reference forever. So no, I don't think it'll be forgotten. Do I wish it was a little bit more memorable? Had they made it to Game 7 of the NLCS? Of course. But unfortunately, I think it comes to an end by the time we talk to you next, which is on Monday. Before we get out of here, Will, what'd you miss?
Right there. Good use of the word indelible by JOSHY. Of ink, a pen, comma, etc. Making marks that cannot be removed. When I placed eye black under my eyes, I thought they would be indelible.
More.
Kinda.
Yeah, you would be looking for. I thought the eye black left an indelible mark on my face.
Yeah, pretty much what I said.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also have a very interesting story that's kind of been captivating me all week.
Sure.
Did you guys see the Celtics coaches play against the media in a pickup game?
I didn't see any of the film, but I saw the story.
Yeah, so traditionally the Celtics every year they do a media versus media basketball game on the practice courts. And this year, like an hour before the game, Joe Mazzulla went up to the podium and said, "You guys aren't playing each other. You're playing the coaches." And the coaches ended up winning like 57-4. And then he went on
57-4.
57-4. There's a clip of a coach hitting a three probably from 40 feet, and it pans to the scoreboard as the buzzer sounds, and it's 57-4. But afterwards, Joe Mazzulla, they had a press conference, and he said it'll be laughed at and joked about, but it means a lot more to humanize. We have too many interactions where it's coach and everyone's doing their job, which I thought was a powerful statement by him. And if you've heard stories of Joe Mazzulla, this is like the most Joe Mazzulla thing ever.
He's a psycho.
He's on
He's a
100.
weird dude.
So one guy, there's a clip of him saying that they're going to give the coaches a run for their money, and Joe Mazzulla turned around to his team and said, "We're full court pressing."
That's so sick.
And they did.
Wow. Give him a run for your money. Very good. All right. Good contributions there, fellas. Sort of therapeutic, sort of just made me more anxious ahead of
Come watch us on the stream tonight. Woo,
the three of us, Gabe Knight's with you, beginning at 7:30 tonight for our watch party for Game 4 of the NLCS between the Brewers and the Dodgers. Are we attending a funeral? We will all find out together.
I should come dressed in all black.
I actually already planned on it. Please don't steal my bet. Thank you very much.
You're the one who believes.
Well,
You said there's one more game after this.
I think they win now.
Why don't you save it for Game 5? Show some real gumption.
Who said I'll be there at Game 5?
What do you wear to a birth? Because
no
I think they're
choice.
going to come back.
What do you wear to a birth?
Yeah, if you're wearing all black for the death.
Well, so if you are the father in this context, you would wear either scrubs or you would take your shirt off because you do skin to skin with newborn babies. So you would either have to be pretty much shirtless or wearing scrubs.
Brewers
I don't know
jersey it is.
I don't know if you have either of those readily available.
Can't say I do.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to you on Monday. We'll recap the NLCS.
You should go skins.
We will
Off stream.
we will recap. We will recap Packers, Cardinals, and all the in-betweens coming up Monday at 12:30 Central, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us as we really feel great about where this Brewers team is at. Let's hope they can continue the series. We'll talk to you Monday. Have a great weekend. Make decent decisions. Peace.